Well, all right. So let's talk about the right time. Let's talk about the right when. Let's talk about what it is that keeps people stuck. I'm again, as usual, whatever the topic is for the day, I do this power shot because I'm fascinated by powerlessness, by how much people are affected in ways that they have no idea by the decisions that they themselves are making that are actually decreasing their capacity to be more powerful. And, do you ever come to a place where you start saying to yourself, I think it's time, whatever that means, is just that you get to that place that something churns within like inside you, and you just, I think I'm over this job and it's time to go. And, or, well, I think that whatever person I've been dating is just, I'm sort of over listening to his shit. Or, it's just, it's time. And there's something like the thought appears in your head, and there's something really right and true that resonates in your body. Now, the next question is when you've had that moment where something resonates in you and you really realize it's time to make a change, how long did it take you to make that change? And I'm going to guess anywhere from months to years, because people don't know how to make decisions with the right faculties. And sometimes I feel like the natural cycles of Earth and the planets and love and life and the universe and the ocean and everything good and loving and conscious, Alpha Omega, from now until the end of the time, is in my body. And there's certain things that are feeling in nature, emotional in nature, logical in nature, and I'm a wild combination of all of it. And what I need to do is to immerse myself in my body. But the problem is I have this thing, and it's called my brain. And I happen to have a very strong, active, constantly thinking, over-analyzing type of brain. And I'm not saying that critically. I love my brain. I really, really do. I love my brain's capacity to put my feelings and thoughts into words that make sense and see things and become aware of things and, decide on how I want to view life and learn and absorb information. But also what I recognize, particularly among very intelligent people, is your brain can keep you stuck. Because it's like in the world we live in, we think there's an answer or a solution for everything. And we keep looking out there to find that perfect thing. And sometimes there's just such an overabundance of different ways, different things, different opinions, that you start thinking and then gathering information, and it just makes you get stuck for longer. As opposed to this natural cycle that is inside of you, that is housed in who you are, knows that it knows. And in the same way, like, the birds and the trees and the plants and the other animals do things almost naturally and hormonally and without resistance, I often think that we could afford to do things more like that too. Because I just look at everybody that I know who has at one point or another, and usually several times before they've actually taken action to change, has spoken to wanting to change. And then I see them just mind fuck and dig holes and like walk themselves deeper and deeper into an abyss of overthinking, which then leads to darkness and depression, because they keep thinking, they don't take action, and they get more frustrated and dissatisfied with where they're at and who they are and their quote unquote incapacity to change. The capacity to change is in all of us. I'm not saying it's easy, but it comes from simple actions. And the thing is people take one or two actions, and we live in a world of instant gratification that leads you to believe that, you take a couple of actions and poof, you've changed. That's it. Oh, 30 days changes a habit. So I'll just cut out all carbohydrates for 30 days. And at the end of 30 days, you're like hangry. You want to kill somebody. You want to dive into a 7-layer chocolate cake, because you can't change. Like a change has to be loving, and change has to be with guidance and help and assistance. And whether you think that's from higher powers or other people, it doesn't matter, The point of it is that your body and your spirit know the right time. And every time you hit one of those moments, what recovery circles call a bottom, and you move past it and you don't take action, you're just digging yourself into your grave faster. And, it's not that desperate in this moment, but what I'm seeing is just people accepting slow death by just like resolving themselves to not being able to change, to continuing to like do the same things over and over and over without seeking a solution, by making excuses. And your body and your spirit and who you are knows the right time. Your mind gets in the way. So, maybe you could try practicing something like taking a walk or meditating or any of the kinds of things that like sort of loosen that energy that's stuck in your mind and allow you to just get back in touch with your body minute by minute. Sit in a chair for 5 minutes and do nothing. Take a walk for 5 minutes. Go downstairs and come back up if you're really limited in your mobility. I don't really care. The point is you got to get the energy flowing through your body, and you got to find solutions so you can get better and move away from the stuckness in your brain and the fears that keep you there. So if you want to follow up, if you have anything to talk about what I said, I'm happy to hear from you through Facebook Messenger or at Nicole Devlin. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you all have a good Labor Day weekend.